gonna get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly. Hey, mama, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast.
A lot of vitriol. I've been a professional journalist since 1997. I've been getting hate mail since I was in college. Nothing has been like what it's been like the last 4 years, particularly after I called out the president. This is what came into my Instagram DMs just this morning. Hey, you fucking racist nigger bitch. You got a problem with white folks, then run your fucked up bitch ass mouth to one of us, and I don't mean a little kid or an old man, and see if they don't slap the black off your sorry ass. Fuck you, Trump will still win. Get the fuck over it or fucking leave. Now, I realize that does not necessarily mean all Trump supporters are that hateful or that vitriolic, but this idea that we need to turn the other cheek, hell no. So I say this with all the disrespect. Fuck y'all. I'm not turning the other cheek. I'm not forgiving you because you've terrorized my life. You've threatened it. You've come after my friends and my family. So fuck you. Straight up, no chaser.
Like that, Jack. The fuck I'm talking about. That's how I'm bringing in this week. I've already been in a shitty mood, and Jamel Hill, respect to that queen for bringing us in lovely. If you don't know, well, now you know. This is the I'll Piss You Off Shortly podcast coming on a Tuesday night. Regularly, we're Monday nights at 9 p.m. But I've been sucking the past 2 weeks, so and especially some people, I'm gracious for some people that have been checking in. I noticed in our messages, especially Frank, shout out to Frank, like, hey, where's Rob? What the hell has he been doing? I'm okay, everybody. I'm fine. Last week I was sick as hell. This week I definitely slept on the job. My fucking mental health has been fucked up this week. I don't know what it is. I don't want to say like keep blaming that, but it's just like it sucks. It's been a shitty past, I don't know, month. And I think like this week has been like, it's culminating, like just bring you down. Like I don't want to say the straw that broke the camel's back, but like that like final just blah. And I just fucking mentally, emotionally, just physically drained. So, when you're like, yeah, I'm gonna just close my eyes for 2.2 seconds. And you wake up definitely like 5 hours later and you're like, what the fuck happened there? That was me.
Yeah. It's funny when you were telling me that all feels like something my wife would have done. And then when I'm like, how come you didn't wake me up? She'd be like, not my job to wake you up.
Yep. Yeah. To her, it's still just a hobby. She's like, yeah, just let you sleep. Yeah, I'm like, oh, so, it didn't even dawn on you. Like I'd ask you to, wake me up. No.
Rob, you clearly needed to sleep.
I needed to sleep. I remember those days when my mom would be like, be quiet, your dad needs to sleep. And then like he overslept for some shit and he'd be all pissed off. Like, oh my God, you let me sleep. I was supposed to get to this other job. So I'm like, yeah, man, you let me sleep. I ain't got no job. It's my only kind of job. So you let me sleep. What the hell? Fans are all mad and torn up about it. But anyways, welcome to I'll Piss You Off Shortly, your least favorite podcast. I am your host, Rob Benjamin, with your other host, Joe Aguirre. How is everybody doing today? How are you doing, Joe?
Yeah, I'm all right. I am all right. We were cranking it last night, doing Divided We Stand, and we waited.
So sad I missed.
It was great. I got to tell you, you know what? We ended up having some really great conversation last night. And, with this Jamel Hill thing in mind, I think the main theme of what we discussed last night was the idea of moving forward as a country. Gotcha. And how do you do that? And I've had some conversations today with my wife. here in town in Wethersfield, there was some outrage because somebody local, who's a pretty outspoken social activist in town, she and her husband and family put a sign out front that said "fuck Trump."
Which they have every right to.
Yeah. So people in Wethersfield, apparently, Rob, have never seen that word before. And literally, people were saying that.
Oh,
people
so offended.
People have never seen that word before. And then some of them said, "How dare you say something like that about the president?" Other people were like, "You shouldn't have children. That's wrong. You're teaching." And it's like, dude.
Do we forget the horrible, stupid shit that they said about me?
Well, sure. Listen, dude, I mean, look, we've all been there. We've all been there.
Like, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, give me a break.
Fucking entitled bastards.
Here's the thing that kills me is people are like, "You just hate Trump." That's why you say that. You just hate Trump.
So what if I do?
But Rob.
So what if I do?
Why do you hate him? Because the media told you to?
No, because he's a proven bigot. He's a proven sexist. He's a proven rapist. He's the list can continuously go on. He's a proven Marxist. So it's like, where does it? I mean, I can keep pulling fucking names out the fucking hat, and that's what he is. You know what I'm saying? He's everything but the child of God, which all these conservatives swear he's by. He's probably, to them, he's the second coming of God.
For the people, here's what I guess I don't get is this idea that Donald Trump has been getting picked on the whole time.
Oh no!
And that, right? Like it wasn't him coming out of the gate swinging. It wasn't him
antagonizing anything.
Everybody,
it wasn't him promoting
anything. So somebody said, maybe I'll put up a "fuck Joe Biden" sign, and it's like, but why would you?
For what? And that
Joe Biden hasn't done anything to make you feel that way, right? It's a tit for tat, as opposed to I'm upset by things that Joe Biden has said because he's insulted family members of mine, or veterans of ours,
or he's called on racists and extremists to get ready, stand by, and I mean, matter of fact, they stood by and got their ass beat, from what I hear. This Million MAGA March, which is something else totally like that's how embarrassing y'all are at conservatives. That's how embarrassing you can't even name up your own shit. You got to take some black shit, but you don't like us as much as you say you do. But the Million MAGA March, no, that's not the Million Man March. You're going to call it the Million MAGA March, and you guys only had shy of like 10,000 people there. Sounds pretty familiar to when he got inaugurated, right? Inaugural day. And matter of fact, you got your asses beat by a bunch of Antifa punks. So how patriotic could y'all be? Like, I'm sorry, if you're that patriotic and you guys have all these weapons and all this, you're getting your asses handed to you. I don't need you fending for my country. I need people that are about the action. So if you're gonna sit there and cry that your asses are getting hit, beat up after you start talking shit for 4 years, don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. I'm sure many of you have heard that phrase before. And you guys live in glass houses and have been throwing mad stones.
How are the people that are going to cry about due process and the Constitution going to sit here and not acknowledge a new president-elect?
Because they're
the election.
They're clowns.
If you love the Constitution so much, there's a process in place for us to finalize what just happened so we can move into plan B here and get a new president in, because we have to, because this COVID thing is raging out of control and it's going to kill everybody if we don't get this guy out of here. I don't know if you saw today, he also, not only did Trump recently fire his oh God, what is he? The defense secretary. Today he fired the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, our country is not safe. He's been signing executive orders. He's trying to sell land. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is you're going to see a grift. You're going to see a grift like you've never seen before from Trump in these next 2 months. And when you've got nothing but IOUs in the bank, $400 million. I mean, this guy's I would watch him with the silverware at the White House.
He's probably going to try and pawn all that shit off.
He's gonna have to. He's broke. He's
What is
broke.
it?
And I'll tell you what, when he steps out of office and he's a citizen, I think there's law enforcement people who will want to speak with him.
I believe it. I don't know that he's gonna have what do they say? Not a lot of. It's gonna be more like civil, or not necessarily criminal cases, but more civil cases.
We'll
do
see.
you see criminal cases coming about?
There will be at least one criminal case, and it will be the same one that put Michael Cohen in jail, his fixer.
Okay.
You'll recall, and I mean, we've all since kind of forgotten about this, but Donald Trump in that indictment was the so-called alleged co-conspirator number 2.
Good.
So
Good.
that warrant is still sitting there, and that's waiting. Nothing ever happened to the unnamed co-conspirator. So I would assume that the Southern District of New York City fully intends on prosecuting that to the full extent of the law. And with Mr. Cohen's cooperation, it should be a pretty slam dunk case.
Now, can we have a true thought process on this though? Do we really think that he's going to participate in Inauguration Day? And 3, and 2, and I think I've harped on this before, but do we really think that he's going to stay in the country? Like I honestly, with everything that he's doing now, I don't see him staying in the country past January 20th.
I would be, listen, unfortunately, the way this stuff works is his lawyers will know before it's going to get served. And if it's as bad as I think it is, I think you're right. I think he may very well flee. And I think Russia and Turkey are his top 2 destinations, maybe Saudi Arabia.
I believe I agree. I definitely think at first I was thinking Russia, but now that you mentioned Saudi Arabia, he has a lot of good friends out there. And they can probably pay off a debt. I mean, they might be pissing on his face like R. Kelly for the next 10 years, but I'm sure he'll take that over getting jail and getting a rod rammed up himself.
Oh, by the way, one other big piece of news, Lindsey Graham could be in some trouble.
Yeah, who's coming after Lindsey?
There is an official investigation begun into Lindsey Graham, who called not only the Secretary of the State in Georgia, but in all of the other disputed states, and where they're Republican secretaries of state, and he asked them to throw out legal ballots to swing things back in Trump's direction. Now, this has been alleged by the Republican Georgia State's Secretary of the State.
This is awesome. Yes. Oh, Brad Raffensperger.
This is where we're at right now with the Republicans. I mean, literally, they're going to try and they're going to do anything they can.
I hope they slam Lindsey Graham. I hope they get him and they really slam him. What's up, Quali brother? What's going on, man? I really hope they slam him. I didn't know about this. I'm definitely gonna read up on that tonight. I can't stand Lindsey Graham, so any chance that Lindsey Graham can sit under the cell, I'm more than happy to entertain that and promote that. So yes, definitely lock him up. Lock him up. Lock him up.
The funny thing is I think Lindsey Graham would adjust nicely to prison.
Yeah, I think so too. Hey now,
fit right in.
You got the soap for me, hey.
I think things would be all right for Linz.
Well, question, since we think we know Lindsey Graham so well, got a question for you.
Yeah.
How well do you think you know your wife?
It depends on the day and her mood, because most of the time, pretty well. But then there's times where I think I do, and I'm wrong.
Not so well.
I mean? There's days where I'm like, I think I got it all figured out, and then I'm wrong.
Yeah, totally. Like that was me today. We went. We'll get to it later as far as this part. But we're sending the boy to school, even though it's seeming like in Connecticut it's only gonna be for a week before they shut everything down again. But anyways, we're sending him to school. We go to get him, some back to school shopping, and I was like, man, I'm gonna go see if I can find this one little. I know she was been talking about this one little dress and something else. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna go, scope it out, whatever. So I go to the store. I'm like, yeah, they got her size. So I go to her thinking I'm gonna be cute, and I'm like questioning her, and I'm like, hey, babe, just throwing out sizes or whatever. And I'm like, babe, yeah, last time you got a dress, you were a size XYZ. And she was like, no, I've never been that size. Da-da-da-da. I'm like, oh shit. So for this whole time, I pretty much have this dress on hold, just for the double check, thinking it's one size, and it's definitely a size. Well, she claims she's a bigger size, like 2 sizes bigger. So I was 2 sizes wrong. But I'm like, damn, I really don't know her as well as I feel like I should. But then there's other times, like I know her favorite color. I know what she likes to eat in the morning. I know, you know what I'm saying? Like that little shit, but like other stuff. So anyways, not to ramble. So I thought of a little cool game that it might be fun to play that's going to lead into next episode. So anybody that's listening that is following now, this might be something cool. So I figured throughout the episode, we'll think of 3 to 5 questions. So I'll think of 5 questions to ask you about your significant other, your wife, and you think of 3 to 5 questions that you think that I should know about my significant other. And then at the end of the end of this episode, we'll ask the 3 questions and answer them. And then next episode, we'll see how right we were.
Okay.
Sound like fun? I don't know what we'll win because I'm broke as a joke and unemployment ended for me. But we'll figure something cool out. We'll wage something interesting. But we'll try and make them like fun questions. Like I'm trying to think of something fun. I don't know.
I've already got the wheels turning. I already wrote down my first question for you.
See, okay. See, I'm a little
turning.
So yeah, you got it. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I don't want to say anything corny, but I'm sure that's why I said by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Once the wheels starts going, we'll
basically
see.
The game now in my head is what do I want to know about Danielle that I'm not sure Rob knows?
Exactly. See, there we go. There we go. Frank, what's up, brother? Frank goes, I don't know my wife. I don't know my wife. I know my girlfriend. That's better. I mean, you got all the time in the world to know your wife. The girlfriend, you got to learn a lot more in a little bit of time, right? Because you never know when they're going to stay.
That makes me think of something really funny. My wife says to me all the time, you better never cheat on me. And she says it very tongue-in-cheek because, I mean, where do I go? Like, really? Where do I go that there would be time for that? But I've joked with her, literally. You ever watch the show Cheaters?
Yes, I've watched.
Okay, it's like a UPN show, 3 a.m. It's insanely great. Okay, and I always say to my wife, because one of the things about this show is, and this blows my mind, right? Like this woman will go to Cheaters and she'll be like, "I think my husband's cheating on me," and they're like, "All right, we'll set up a surveillance. We'll follow the guy. We'll find out if he's cheating or not. Why do you think he's cheating?" And she'll be like, "Well, he hasn't been home in 30 days."
What?
Bitch, he left you. What are you? What do you need? What do you need Joey Greco here to do with the casted Cheaters? What are you looking for confirmation on that? He hasn't been home. And I said to my wife, I'm like, if I'm like 10 minutes late, you're like flipping out.
Oh my God.
What? Like, here's the other thing.
Oh my God. Let's get to it.
I have a secret cash stash in my car.
Okay.
And it's not for like anything bad. It's for things like Taco Bell.
Gotcha.
And I'll tell you why. My wife's a hawk. I'll go to like Taco Bell. I swear to God, like I'll give them my card, right? And getting ready to get my bag. And all of a sudden, ding, Taco Bell, huh? I can't even get Taco Bell.
Everybody has to do that. I do the same thing.
But so here's the thing, Rob. I said to my wife, I'm like, where would I cheat on you? Like where am I going with this fine young lady I'm sleeping around with? I mean, does she have a house? I hope, because otherwise, where am I going? You imagine if Motel 6 showed up on my card?
Oh my God,
dude! I wouldn't. The bellhop wouldn't even have my bag in the room yet. My wife would be there.
She'd be in the room before you.
Yeah, I tell my wife all the time. I'm like, A, I just don't have the time, and B, I could never get away with it. Why would I try?
Well, I can't lie. I don't know how to lie. Period. I'm a horrible liar. Yeah, I don't have the time and I don't have the energy. I honestly like I don't have the energy for one. So what do you make? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think? Like, I'm gonna have the energy to maintain and like upkeep one. You know how hard it is to have a conversation past 9 o'clock at night when I'm ready to go to bed and she wants to talk. Imagine doing that with somebody else. I don't.
Well,
You can't do it.
so
You
here's
can't do it.
here's the other thing. I'm 45. Right. So if I was going to run off with some hussy, first of all, at this point, she'd have to be like 28. Like, there's a cutoff now.
And
Like,
at that
back
point,
in the-
she's already
like 10
she's
years ago, I'd be
established.
like, if I run off with some 21-year-old or some 8, now I'm like, she's got to be at least 27. She better have a career. She should own her own home. You know what I
there's so
mean?
many other things to it. Does she have how well are you input into your 401k?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other questions. Like, yeah. So I feel you.
She owns real estate, this woman. You
See?
know? She's
Like-
got it together. That's who it is. It would have to be. It would have to be, because literally you'd have to come and be like, listen, you can come stay at my house and we'll just have sex and I'll buy you stuff. And I'm like, yeah, let's
That's a
go,
whole
you
nother-
28-year-old. And off I go.
See, and that's the thing when they're young.
It's not
like-
gonna happen.
Well, outside of that, yeah, period. They're
safe.
just a whole nother liability. So I don't want another bill, period. Like I don't want another bill. But me and Danielle do have a 100K rule, but it has to be 100K cash or deposited. And then at that point, we just have to let each other know the deposit's on its way. Once the deposit's clear, hey, you can do whatever you want for the night. But so we've established that 100K rule. So ladies, hey, if you got 100K, you want a night out with me, cash on demand.
Sounds like
For my
everybody's a winner
time,
there.
not the activities during that, just for my time.
Those you kick in for free.
Exactly. Hey now.
Yeah.
I think
just
I
hope-
have one of my
I
questions.
hope my
now.
wife's not watching, because she will be pissed. That I do know. I don't
Oh
think she would.
jeez.
I don't think she would have found the last 45 seconds to be as funny as the first couple minutes. That's how much I know my wife.
Hey, I do know she's gonna kick my ass one day. One day for antagonizing this shit. Oh yeah. Oh well, I deserve it. Oh, let's see here. Oh, that's what I was saying. So we're sending little man to school. I'm excited about that. I wanted to send him to school in the beginning of the school year, but of course I had to play nice with the grandmother, with grandma and her and and of course mom. But I'm like, hey, at least maybe I'll get 2 days out of it, maybe 3, because I think he goes to school Tuesday, right before Thanksgiving. So a nice little 3-day break for me to kind of woosah and see what it does. I hope he doesn't like go to school. My biggest fear is he's gonna go to school and be like, you stupid idiot, do push-ups. Not that I call my kid an idiot. I call him a genius. I use genius. So it works both ways, right? If I call him a genius, it's sarcastic. Hey, you genius, why'd you do that? Or hey, genius, because he did some smart shit. But anyways, so he's going to be like, I'm scared he's going to go around calling kids geniuses and like telling them to do push-ups. Because when I do find him not paying attention in class or dicking off, guess what? After class is done, we do push-ups. I mean, yeah. And
great.
usually he snaps right back into it and he has a good day for the rest
The
of
other day, Elliot, who's 5,
Yep.
asked me for hot dogs. And I was strongly under the impression, Rob, that I had cooked all of the hot dogs we had left the previous day.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Bud, I don't think there's hot dogs." And he said, "Yeah, there are." And so my other daughter, Kaylee, walks into the room. I said, "Check and see if there's hot dogs. And if there are, could you make them some hot dogs?" She goes, "We don't have any hot dogs." He goes, "No, come here." He walks into the kitchen. He opens up the refrigerator and he opens up the shelf, the meat shelf. He pulls out his hot dogs and he goes, "Here you go, dummy." Dude, I lost my mind laughing. But then I sat him down and I was like, "Elliot, listen, that was brilliant, but got to tell you something. It's all right to do it to the people that live here."
Yeah.
I said, "Don't go to school and the teacher like gives you something. You're like, thanks, dummy."
Tell me. Yep.
Because then it wouldn't be funny.
Exactly.
You gotta know to do it in the right context. Also, I call my kids knuckleheads
Okay.
all the time. Which is like knuckleheads.
Exactly.
I hope they use that in school because I'd love to see that make a comeback. Hey, come on, you knucklehead.
I say idjit, which I learned from Supernatural. One of the old heads on Supernatural. He's a, hey, you stupid idjit, or hey, you idjit. So I'm like, yeah. See, I call mine asshole too sometimes, but like he's not gonna repeat it, but like I get scared, like he might say it to his friends. Like he won't curse. So this is the thing: he won't swear around an adult, but when he's around his fucking dinosaurs, he'll call like, "Hey, shithead." Like I've heard him call his like dinosaurs like shithead before. So I'm like, "Hey, bro, like you can't be just doing that." So like I'm scared like he's gonna be the kid teaching his other kids like bad words because he definitely watches some shit that like he probably shouldn't watch.
I
But well, not that
busted
he shouldn't watch because I explain shit, but whatever.
I busted my daughter watching a video. It's somebody. It was Toy Story, but it's not really Toy Story. It's a scene where Andy wants his toys back from Bonnie.
Oh,
She
jeez.
shows up and she's like, "They're gone. Like they all ran off." And Andy's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Ask me why she thinks that's hilarious. You know, because it is. So yeah, I had to be like, you can't watch that stuff. It's great. Yeah. I get it. I see why you would, but you know, there's the stuff you can do at home, and then there's the stuff, and I think as long as you talk to your kids about it, you know, I always told my kids they could swear, but not gratuitously. Mm-hmm. Swear in the right context, Rob.
And hey, okay, exactly.
You know what I mean?
But not just offing it once.
If your plate falls off the table onto the floor and you yell "Bach," like, I get it. You know what I mean? Or you're washing dishes, you're drying some plates and you drop the whole thing, and I get it.
Fuck yeah.
Don't walk in the house and just start dropping bombs because that ain't gonna fly,
up, bitches?
Right? So my kids knew if you use it in context. First of all, you'll make me laugh. Second of all, it will be okay to do.
I like that rule. Very, very good rule.
Got to be smart with it.
Got to be smart. Now that's the other thing. Like outside of that, I hope that they're very smart with all this COVID stuff, which I'm not too worried about. What up, Ovi? What up?
The wrestling show just ended. The hard-hitting wrestling show.
The hard-hitting wrestling show worrying about swearing. Come on now. Come on, you softies. But
not
so
Frank though.
Fuck. That's probably what his cousin was saying last week after we roasted his ass. Fuck. I'm ready to kill those guys. No, fuck. What's up with your hair, Joe? Oh, damn, Joe.
What is that supposed to mean? It's funny. A buddy of mine came over the other day, and here, let's just pull this out for effect for the viewing audience.
Fluff it out.
You got it. Oh, you know what? You know why it's doing that? You're not going to want to know this. No, there's conditioner in it. It's actually pulled back into a ponytail.
Oh, you got a man bun back there. You got a little pony.
I do. I forgot that was in. I forgot it was in. We did Keys to the City earlier today, and I wanted to make sure my hair. I look like a hockey player. My hair was all like shooting out the side. Yeah,
that's funny. But no, yeah. So yeah, I hope this vaccine. Like, I know they're gonna be like trying to push the vaccine and everything now. I wonder now that like we're sending my kid to school. I hope they don't make it mandatory for like kids that have to have the vaccine to go to school, because I'm gonna be super pissed. Because honestly, I'm not trusting any vaccine anytime soon. I don't plan on injecting myself with it, nor my child. So that's really gonna piss me off. But apparently this vaccine is gonna be coming around fairly soon. November, end of November, first couple 100,000, and then after that, everybody else is gonna get it. I'm not believing in it. Honestly,
I want to sign up for the free trials right now.
Really?
I would do that.
Well, what's the benefits? What are the perks that they're giving out?
Well, if you get it and it works, then you're good.
If you get it, okay.
I could literally walk around and grab people by the shirt that have COVID and be like, bah! And I would be fine because I'd love to get in line for that.
What about like 6 months from now when like a 3-headed baby is coming out your fucking stomach going, blah!
I'll be on TV.
I guess it's a win-win either way, huh, for you?
Yeah.
I
If I die, they're going to be like, hey, remember Joe Maguire? He victim 1 from the vaccine that killed like 8 million people. Yeah. I want to be that guy. I want to be the Crispus Attucks of COVID-19.
I don't even know who that is, but a tux just sounded funny. So I just had to laugh.
Little known fact. He's an African American. He was literally the first person killed in the Revolutionary War.
How the fuck do they know that?
Yeah.
How? He was the first one. We started and he just... How do you know that?
Christmas Attucks. He was killed. The war has begun. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, we're going to swear in Spanish so you can read it. All right, Frank, you do that. Maricón. That's funny. What's the last movie that scared you or really had you in like a very like suspense, like holy shit, like phrase?
I don't watch a lot of horror movies, and incidentally, I think each of my last 2 were the Jordan Peele ones. I saw Get Out and I saw Us.
Okay, I didn't like Us. Get Out was okay.
You didn't like Us?
No, like you know
Get Out was weird because that one was like well, who dreamt this weirdo-ness up? Like that, I thought that one was like, that one made me uncomfortable. I'm like, do they think all white people are assholes? That was I walked away feeling like that from
you
that
felt
movie.
Yucky. It's just,
Us, I was confused for about 60% of the movie, but like about 2/3 of the way through, I got really confused, and my wife explained it at the end.
Yeah, I figured out the kind of like the production aspect of it because I was just like, that's not her. Watch, they probably switched it and they're gonna like. I kind of figured out the whole suspense aspect. And if you haven't seen Us or whatever, and I'm throwing a spoiler, the movie's been out for like 2 years now. So like, oh fucking well, get over that shit.
Right. If you're not doing it. Stop.
But like Get Out was okay. It was weird, but like I was just like, okay, like whatever.
You know what? The funny thing about Get Out is, Rob, I don't know this. How could I? But I could only imagine being a black dude and meeting a white family
at this point. Yeah, I feel like
right. I could imagine even without all the crazy shit that happened in that movie. I would think if you did a movie where there was nothing weird going on in Get Out, and it was just like a super aggressive conservative dad meeting the black guy, you wouldn't have needed any of the psychological thriller aspect. It could have literally just been the dad and the brother just grilling the black guy for 2 hours.
I think that would have been a better movie. Honestly, like literally going through some real reality, real type shit of like conservative parent and then just straight black. Like that would have been interesting. More than, sitting there stirring and then you get into this whole thing. It's just like that. So like I appreciate Jordan Peele for his creativity and shit like that and his like mindset of that. I'm still gonna say Us was like kind of trash. But have you seen what is it? Love Lost or what is it? Loveland Country or fuck, what is it? Whatever the new Lovecraft Country. There we go. Lovecraft Country. I think it's on, don't get me the line on what special channel it is. I think it's HBO. But Jordan Peele's part of that. And this has that same kind of like black suspense kind of thing, but it's like during Chicago in the 1950s, 1960s. And it has like that witchcraft wizardry type shit. But well, not witchcraft wizardry, but like scary, suspenseful type stuff.
I think we should make a movie trailer for Get Out, my version.
What, going to the hood?
I'm telling you, I got some ideas. I think we could do something really funny with this.
I'm with it. I'm listening. Can we get
I'll
a little
you off shortly, CMG original. Yeah, listen, it's gonna be here's what I'm thinking, Rob. It's black guy meets white girl, they love each other. He meets the family, and instead of the dad being, what was it, Bradley Whitford, all super liberal, instead, it's like super, like it's Mike Pence is the father.
Oh, see, yeah.
And like right away, he shakes your hand, and he's like, all lives matter. And that's where the nightmare begins.
Yes.
Like, it's just like, it's gotta be so awkward that white people or black people who watch it, I want their skin to crawl. I want them to be like, oh God, this is funny.
Both ways.
But it feels so real and
That-
awkward that I that's what I'd like to do. I think that would be
I think we
that'd
can
be
make that
great.
happen.
Let people see what that really looks like. Because to me, again, I don't know. I've heard songs about it. I've heard people talk about it, but I could imagine just like I can't imagine what it must be like for like a gay person to come out to like mom and dad and be like, hey guys, I know you had this thought of me your whole life, but hey, right? Here's a curveball. I don't know what that's like. I can't imagine. And so again, I've met some weird parents that made me uncomfortable, white people, and it was still weird. I can't even, and I've dated conservative women. I could only imagine. I mean, there's people who, because I'm Italian and Portuguese, so I'm not really the whitest of white people. And just that alone sometimes freaks moms and dads out. Like, are you sure you're white? Like that kind of shit. Yeah.
Definitely. So here we go. I don't know if I've told this story, but well, I don't know. Is it safe to say somebody? No, I guess not. It's a podcast. I probably shouldn't say her name, but that was like one of my first serious relationships. Was a white girl. I'm out of high school, and her dad's and her brother's super conservative, like calling me the N-word and everything, like to the point where I'm 19 years old having to have a talk with her dad in the kitchen because I'm like, yeah, I know I'm black. I know you hate me, but you're going to have to deal with me. And you're definitely going to hear me banging your daughter upstairs. So, yeah. And at that point, hey, we stayed together for a little bit. And yeah.
A conservative woman is a woman that doesn't put out on the first date. I think.
Oh, she definitely wasn't conservative then. I'm sorry. She definitely wasn't. She wasn't conservative, but her dad was, and her brother. Definitely conservative. I don't even like, where did I get on this? I asked that the scary movie thing just because I was like, Halloween came around and like no scary movies are actually that scary anymore. I don't even think they are, not to say they actually were, but that's what it was. I watched It, and it was not as scary. I watched the newer version of It. I remember watching the original It back in the day, and that shit had me like holy, kind of on my feet, and like I don't know if I want to go to sleep. But this one, I was like, this is kind of boring and stupid, and I guess I don't get that same thrill, excitement from. And I used to love horror movies. Like I
like clowns.
See, okay, so you like clowns. I think
clowns are fun, and yeah, clowns just don't scare me.
So yeah, they don't scare me at all, and they never did. It was just It, and then like Freddy was kind of scary, and then I don't know, I just grew all out of all that. So that was and then I was watching Van Helsing, and I don't know, I've been doing like a little scary kick, so I just figured I'd just pick your brain with that. Oh, let's see here. Where am I going else with this week? Oh shit. How did I forget? Among Us. Among Us has taken over like the CMG family, and it's been amazing. I don't know if everybody knows what Among Us is. Among Us is this amazing multiplayer, I guess, Clue versus Minions. I mean, if you like took Clue with Minions and I don't know, like the task part. I'm not like a big gamer person, so like, and then put like some task or some shit in between.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I thought it was going to be cooler than it is, and that's not to say it's not cool. But yeah, you do. You look like a minion in like an evacuation suit. Yeah. And the tasks thing, I've played now like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. There's the first time I completed any tasks with the last game I played. I was just about to finish my last task when apparently the psychopath murderer finished everybody off. I didn't know what was going on because I'm not that good. And as I was doing the last task, I got whacked.
Just whacked off. See, Jace is good. It was fun playing with Jace. I see Jace said, "Hey, I'm sus." Joe's the imposter. Yeah, I'm still learning the game, but it's fun. I don't have as much fun playing it like by myself and then just going into a public game. But like when it's like all of us on CMG playing, that shit just gets fun just to talk to shit and just have fun. I think people have figured me out a little bit. And it's
not a good liar.
I'm a horrible liar. I said that earlier. I can't lie.
You're not a good liar. It's funny. I can hear. It's funny. So again, for anybody who doesn't know the game, we have a chat going, and as the game's kind of going on, nobody's supposed to talk, but that doesn't stop us, at least not me. And then you could sort of talk it out. And Rob is always as soon as Rob starts talking a lot, it's like he's lying.
He's lying. He's not. Yep.
You can tell. If Rob's like, no, I didn't do it, you're like, okay. And that's it. You're like, all right, it's not Rob. If Rob's like, it wasn't me, I was down in the chamber room. You're like, all right, bullshit.
Bullshit.
Totally
He did
lying. Totally lying.
That's why I hate it. But the thing that worries me is we're literally building a bunch of liars now. Like, imagine like all the kids are just gonna be able to get away with. No, it wasn't me. I was. I'm like, So now everybody's sus to me. Everybody's sus.
Absolutely.
Everybody. Like,
I felt really bad. The other day when we were playing, Jared Jones said that it wasn't him. He wasn't the imposter. And I love Jared. He's my boy. And then Tyler was like, no, it's definitely him. And I was like, Jared, you lied to me. And I voted for him. And it was like, Jared's not the imposter. And I was like, I broke all the trust in our relationship over this game. I literally called. I was like, you lied.
You lied.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
You're right, though. We are creating an entire team of liars.
We are. I can't trust anybody. It's so funny. Like, even when people are like vouching for others, I'm like, I can't even trust you. I don't give a damn. It's funny when people are like, no, trust me. For like, do you really expect me to trust you just off of saying trust you? Like, no, fuck all y'all. Everybody.
Yeah, you know who doesn't say trust me? Honest people.
Honest people. Exactly. No, listen to me. You guys got to listen.
Trust me on this one. What about the last one? Like, that seems like a weird thing to say. Also, anytime somebody says this to you, they're like, look, Rob, I'm being totally honest with you.
You see?
I hate when people say that. Look, I'm going to be honest with you here.
I'm going to be honest.
Like, well, what are you generally doing with me? I don't understand. I hate that.
That's when and then when people go, well, my telltale was I would always repeat it. My mom used to be like, I know you're lying just because you're repeating it. So she would be like, oh, were you outside? Well, what do you mean was I outside? Yeah, okay, yeah, you were outside. Were you doing something you weren't supposed to? What do you mean I was? Yeah, I'm a horrible liar. Like, if my sister was watching today, she'd be like, yeah, Rob's a horrible liar.
What do you mean exactly the thing you're accusing me of that I'm just repeating back to you because I can't think of anything else?
Can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Was Among Us 2 being canceled a good thing? I didn't even know Among Us. You know how long it took me to figure out Among Us 1, I guess?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I found out about Among Us about 3 days ago.
Yeah. Let's stick with Among Us and not worry about Among Us 2. I'm sure they still have a lot of like monopolization on this thing. Like, I haven't seen the Among Us t-shirts. I mean, I lied. I saw one. But like there's still like a presence that needs to be made. I feel like it still hasn't made like the mass hysteria that like Fortnite has made.
Yeah.
Like, it's not at the Fortnite level, but it definitely has, I guess, that presence if they can figure some things out. But it is definitely a fun game to play if you have like friends and more than, I guess, 8 people to play. It's been fun. But I guess we'll digress from that. Guess who's the imposter in America the past 2 years? Since we'll stick with the Among Us kind of like trend.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, the FBI claims that racists and hate crimes, people, committing hate crimes are the imposters since 2019. Definitely have rose. Those hate crimes have rose in 2019. So that's racist, I would like to just bring to everybody's attention, because especially now that we see like with the MAGA madness and everything else like that, everybody's trying to sit there and say, hey, we are why don't we all be friends? Why don't we all unite and stuff like that? I'm like, and they're like, hey, nobody's doing these kind of hate things. But here we are. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has claimed that of about 15,000 almost 16,000 law enforcement agencies who provided data to the FBI in 2019. 2,100 reported. 2,100 people, about 2,100 people reported 7,300 hate crime incidents involving 8,500 offenses, which means a lot of those incidents were multiple charges. So you have people just doing multiple offenses or having multiple offenses within certain cases, right? A little bit about the stats from that. 55.8% were motivated by bias against race, ethnicity, or ancestry. 21.4% were motivated by bias against religion. 16.8% were motivated by bias against sexual orientation. 2.8% were motivated by bias against gender identity. 2.2% were motivated by bias against disability. Like how well, the president, of course, he's part of that 2.2%. Because he definitely is biased against people with disabilities. Matter of fact, let's go down through this list, right? Let's see how much Trump is probably part of this. Race, ethnicity, ancestry, check that off. Against religion, check that off. Sexual orientation, check that off. Gender identity, check that off. Disability, check that off. Also, 1% were motivated by bias against gender. Check that off. He checks off all those blocks. So imagine you're president of the United States falling into a percentage of every one of those.
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad. The other funny, interesting thing about this is when you see 55.8% were motivated by race, I'm sure there's probably some conservatives who were thinking, I wonder how many of those were us.
Exactly. Well, I'm sure you guys got some.
Right.
I'm sure there are.
Or of the 21.4% motivated by bias against religion, I'm sure people are like, how many of those were Christians? Well, probably zero. I think we're probably talking about Muslims or Sikhs or Hindus or
what about the Dylan Roofs that go ahead and attack religious groups because they're black?
Right.
Religious,
well,
that kind of falls.
That's a good one. That falls in multiple categories here. That's both religion and the race. Yeah.
So which way do you have it? Oh, which known conservative? So hey, it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
I don't mean this in a. This is going to come across kind of sounding dumb for a second. 2.8% motivated by gender identity. That's a low number. And maybe there's not a lot of people that are having gender. Maybe that's part of the problem, but that's a fear I would have had, is wondering people who are going through gender identity and I totally, for some reason, just cannot think of the stupid word. I'm totally drawing a blank. What is that called?
What, transgender? Or
transgender? Oh yeah, wow. Totally lost the word. Yeah, transgender.
Oh, okay. I do it every episode.
Yeah, I would have thought that they might have been a bigger target. I'm glad to see that they're not, is what I mean to say. But that was kind of a pleasant surprise, I thought, on this list.
See, I had I was kind of, not to say confused, but I wonder the difference between the 2.8 the gender identity and the 1% against gender. I thought that
gender identity, you're talking about people who are confused about I hate that term too, confused about their gender, people who question or don't feel like the gender they're born with, as opposed to gender, which is literally just you're a dude or you're a chick, bam.
But why separate it? Like your gender? Like, I don't, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it's just like bias against gender identity and then bias against gender. Like, it's the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Maybe
I'm just ignorant.
No, you're not. But kind of a side note, this came up today. I don't know if you saw the news, but again, much lighter bit of news and actually some pleasant news, if you will. The first all-black NFL officiating crew did the Monday Night Football game.
Nice. Did they do a good job? I mean, honestly, I don't give a fuck about like.
Well, hold on, and I like what you're going to say here, but before we go there, by all counts, they did a pleasant job. I didn't hear anybody say that they were terrible.
Good. And I'm not asking because of their race. I'm just interested.
Fair enough. It's a good question. As go to any referee. Did you do a good job? That's no one's there to see the refs.
Exactly.
Right. They're not important to the outcome of the game, but to have some diversity reflected in your little team, that's not bad. That can't be a bad thing, right?
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. I'm glad to see it out there. I mean,
but this dude
to
said
me,
to me, hold on. He goes, because this kind of blew my mind. He goes, I'm so sick of this stuff.
exactly.
I go, well, bro, it's 2020, and like this is the first time there's been an all-black NFL officiating crew. It shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter what your race is. And I'm like, he's such a he's a good-hearted person. He like doesn't want to believe that there's a racism problem. He doesn't want to believe, you know what I mean? And I said, dude, look, there's gonna be a time in the future where these things won't happen as much. But at some point, there's going to be an all-female officiating crew, or an officiating crew that's all black women or all Latino women or something. There's always going to be firsts that are going to happen, especially in industries where women didn't ever get to crack into before, or where white men just sort of held a no one else can do this, right? Like golf before they let Tiger Woods play.
You know, like I see the point to I see the point into it, right? And I just like, to me, I feel like even as like a black man, I'm like, when we start holding ourselves as like the first, and we keep holding these like big momentous like, you know, points of like history and stuff, like it's just like at a point, like when do we stop holding that as like a pedestal, as like, you know, to me it's like we're cheering because we finally got ourselves up there. We finally got it. You know what I mean? Like we're finally praising an all black like referee. Like to me, it's like, so what? Like when do we? I feel like the more that we hold ourselves, like, oh, we finally got ourselves up here. Like it lowers us kind of. It's still kind of like, oh, we got ourselves over that hump. We got ourselves like, exactly, like when is it not at first? Like how many times? Like,
sure,
so
but
what?
Look, eventually we're going to get to a point where those things won't be a big deal, but right now they still are.
But it's really not, though. It's like, to me, it's just like,
listen, because I think you need measuring sticks.
But what are we measuring? We're measuring we're measuring their skin color. We're not measuring their talent.
After Obama got elected president, I did famously say to some friends, I'm so glad that America's now like post racism. I thought we were there. I thought we were there because I thought the measuring stick was that the idea that a black man could be president of the United States, it seemed like that solved all those problems. I've always, from the time I was a young person, I always thought it was weird that they always broke statistics down into black, white, and Hispanic, male and female. I thought that was a weird thing to do.
Yeah, but
Rob, it's the reality that we live in. So you need measuring sticks to make sure that you're doing things right. I think we harp on the race stuff way too much.
That's what I'm trying to get at. And even now, you hear people saying, they're like, "Oh, you'd be happy you guys finally got a black president." Like, what? That shouldn't be a fucking trophy. Obama should not be a trophy for the black people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
Obama
not a
should
trophy,
not be.
But it's not
that's
a trophy,
what it
but
sounds
it's a benchmark.
like.
It's a benchmark. Look, you lived in a country where nobody wanted that for you guys. I don't say nobody. A lot of people didn't want that. A lot of them didn't want that. And we've slowly broken that down, changed hearts, changed minds. And we're getting there. Obviously, look, let's be honest. Trump is the backlash to the black president. And I didn't think that would be a thing. But it surprised me, but that was a thing. And now 4 years later, after it's like, whoa, all right.
So I put it this way.
Back to normal here, for crying out loud.
I put it this way. I would not be celebrating a black woman being the first black woman president if it was Candace Owens. Because just because she's black doesn't, like, and that's the thing, like, to me in 2020 now, I'm pro culture, not pro color. And when I say pro culture, like the same color, I mean the same culture as me, the same representation as me. Like, so like if we can agree on something as far as the culture of this society, then we're good. But everybody that's not my color is not my brother or my sister. I'm sorry. I'm done with that mentality. So Candace Owens could have been elected the first black woman president. And I would be like, so fucking what? She's shitty fucking president.
Right.
Just like if the refs were black.
The same people who were like, why aren't women celebrating Amy Coney Barrett? She's a woman who's achieved things. And it's like, well, she's not going to use her power to the betterment of other women. So why would feminism get behind that? Oh, I get that.
Guess what? I can go outside on my street right now, butt ass naked, beat my dick, bust a nut on the fucking road. I'd be the first black guy that fucking went naked on my road, bust a nut. So what? There's a first for everything. So like the referees, they were great fucking, they were black referees. They could have been shitty fucking referees. So fucking what? And I hate that's what everybody, that's where I'm getting at. Like, I hate that's everybody's like, oh, the first.
See,
so
hold
fucking
on.
what? Why can't they just be referees?
In this past week alone, the Miami Marlins hired an Asian American woman, Jeannie Ning, who was a longtime executive with baseball. She's was a softball player in high school and college. She's great. Became an intern at MLB offices at a college and was literally hanging in a man's world for like 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been more than qualified for years, Rob. Nobody wanted to give her the job. The last couple of years, she got all the interviews. She was the hot name, and nobody wanted to pull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally happened. And yeah, baseball's applauding itself, and they should, because they broke a ceiling. They broke a ceiling. Somebody just said we won't be post-race in our lifetime. That's 1,000,000% true. And I was lulled into believing. I was lulled into believing that was a possibility. There's too many people who don't see race, which is the stupidest thing in the world. Can't say that.
Oh, I can say
you can't say that because it's an ignorant statement because it's the one thing everybody can see.
You want to hear something that I think not everybody, but a lot of people might look at me, and I know I'm going to piss people off shortly about this. I think segregation hurt the black community, or desegregation hurt the black community.
No, white flight after desegregation hurt the black community. Again, Rob, it's on white people. White people did it.
No, but hear me out. If we still would have had segregated businesses, we definitely, as a community, as a culture, I mean, look at Oklahoma. Look at Tulsa. Black Wall Street, that was built because of segregation. A lot of the Harlem Renaissance was built because of segregation. So like there's a lot of things that we missed, and then we ended up having to rely on the system, rely on the man. Yeah, so I think like full desegregation kind of like fucked us over in a sense. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
And no, I don't mean judge. I mean, you literally, to say I don't see race is an ignorant thing. I mean, if I'm like, look, I love Rob, he's my brother. I think the world of this guy and his family. But I know I'm not going to like Rob. I don't think you're a black guy. Well, you obviously are, and it's an idiotic and ignorant statement for me to say that you're not, especially because there's people, Rob, who might treat you differently because of that.
I hear you,
all it is an acknowledgement that
there we go.
That there are people who might have an issue with it or might treat you differently.
And that's the thing. You can sit there and say, I don't see color, but acknowledge that there's going to be different hardships. Like you said, if you want to say you don't see color, cool. That's perfectly fine. Because I'm one of those people that, hey, I don't necessarily see color, but I do acknowledge hardships in different scenarios. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that I've seen it myself. I take one of my white friends to a bodega somewhere and they try and get something. They totally get the shit. You know what I mean? They get the shit question out of them, whereas I can go in and out freely. You know what I'm saying? So I see it.
My other thing is, look, I hear so many white people talk about, and look, on paper, according to the Constitution, right, there is no systemic racism based on the paperwork. But people who live in reality, again, I've had my real estate license since 2005. Mm-hmm. There is an incredible amount of racism that happens within the mortgage industries. There are real estate agents
I can
I
imagine.
don't know any specifics. I'm not naming names here, but last year in Long Island, they did it. The Department of Consumer Protection, which runs your real estate licensing, they ran an undercover sting in Long Island, and steering and blockbusting, which are terms that most of us thought were gone in the 70s and 80s, is still happening in Long Island to this day.
Gerrymandering, all that. Oh, yeah.
So it's still a problem, and it's still something we have to acknowledge. Listen, someday, I think the ultimate goal here is to just get beyond the race thing. But until you get everybody on board, there's always going to be people that are not going to want that. And that's the problem as I see it.
And that's the thing. Always, and you can't really, like, when do you can't get rid of the racism, though, because it's a stereotype, it's a culturally inherited thing. So, like, unless you get, I don't know, like, well, you can't even, I can't even say that because they took over Brooklyn, and that's been gentrified to the furthest. So it's not even like you can really say it's a true mix. But I hate the term white people because an Irish person isn't the same as French. Well, Americans messed that up for you guys. Americans just pretty much, if you didn't have any melanin, you're white. What if they'll clue Rob into who I am? I know who that is. That's one of my buddies from the military. But what's up with you, brother? Me and him did basic training together. I'm actually going to get him on an episode one day.
Well, good. Look, and you know what? You're right about this term, white people. Because look, at the end of the day, there's people that are lighter skinned and there's people that are darker skinned. And it really wasn't until about 200 years ago where that actually became an issue, and where the idea that there would be a supreme race over another one, that didn't happen. It's funny. If you look at groups like the Proud Boys and these white supremacist groups, this is how stupid they are, Rob. They see those statues in ancient Rome, the ancient Greek and Rome statues, and they assume that that's what the people look like.
Mm-hmm. And just
ready?
based off of that. Yep.
Ready? There were more than a few black Roman emperors.
You don't say.
Yeah. People didn't think much about race in ancient Rome. It really truly came down to what can you do? What do you have to offer? Race became a social construct really in this country. And really only to justify slavery.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
right.
of course.
Jesus being white is probably the most hilarious thing I've ever heard anybody say. I mean, and here's my two favorite things. Santa Claus. Santa Claus. Remember they had the whole Santa Claus thing a couple years ago. Megyn Kelly when she was with Fox News, she was like, Santa Claus is white. And it's like, well, I suppose that depends on, where you're talking about this mythological person that doesn't exist.
Isn't that of the Christian faith anyways?
But listen, not only is Jesus not white, he was Jewish. Which is a really shitty Messiah to pick, I would think, if you were not trying to be Jewish. It's supposed to be like an offspring of, like, wouldn't it just stand to be black? But I'm saying. It's just, I don't know. The whole thing's sketch. But yeah, the Jesus that people see in pictures, that's actually Victor Borga. He was the son of a 13th century pope. He was a good-looking guy. Mm-hmm. And the church didn't want you to know that Jesus was a dark-skinned fella. And so Victor Borga it is. The Jesus with the eyes that follows you around the room. Yeah. That was actually a white guy from Italy.
Oh, wow.
That's exactly who the Jesus that you know of is. Oh, yeah. Of course. I mean, Jesus definitely had to be dark-skinned, Arab, Middle Eastern, spoke Aramaic. It's not. He didn't talk Greek. He didn't speak Roman.
They got the white Uncle Ben up there.
Yeah, dude.
I'm sorry, the Italian Uncle Ben up there is Jesus. Oh man, hey Christians, you guys would be all right. Be all right.
But
Keep believing in your white Jesus.
Isn't it hilarious that there's these people that have been carrying on this tradition for 2,000 years, and the guy that everybody prays to in their dining room or wherever you put your Jesus crap, it's not even Jesus. It's literally a different dude.
Matter of fact, I have him on my arm.
I should mention too, Victor Borga. I mentioned son of the Pope. What I failed to mention was the bastard illegitimate son of said Pope.
So he's the real Jesus. He's the real. There we go. We're getting somewhere now. Let's see here. Vana through our Jesus was black. That's funny. All of our Jesuses were black. You know what's funny? It was the same structure. They just colored them in brown. You know, all the artists just filled in the black or the brown skin tone instead of the Caucasian eggshell. Oh man. So let's talk about I guess these Trumpettes are getting so upset and so mad that they're actually thinking about going to Canada. And I found this video and it's very funny. Apparently it's a TikTok video, but I've saw throughout like the statuses and throughout Facebook that people were saying, you know what? They're flipping the script. Now they want to go to Canada because, Trump's not going to be president. So I think this video right here explains it best. And I couldn't help but get a laugh out of it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Before you bunny hop your way across the border, maybe I need to explain a few things to you first. So Canada is very liberal and progressive and what you would consider to be left-wing radical. Because you see, we already have LGBTQ protections built into our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. We've supported gay marriage since 2005, and we support a woman's right to choose, and we back it up with universal health care, what you like to call socialist medicine. So you see,
Socialism.
do all those things your radical left-wing Democrats have been talking about for a while. So maybe you should stay where you are and solve your own problems first, and then maybe come visit when, things are better. We'll have a Tim Hortons coffee and a donut ready for you. Okay?
I love Tim Hortons, by the way. Which, by the way, I remember when Tim Hortons was in Connecticut, it was in Norwich, and it was like down the street from my house, and I loved it. I thought Tim Hortons was a shit. And then I remember I found out that it were Canadian. I was like, oh, why did they take it away? Upstate New York, they still have a couple Tim Hortons, though. But I thought that video was so funny. And I was like, yeah, you idiots. Y'all, here we go again with conservatives and Republicans of like saying you're moving to Canada just to find out. Imagine them going up to Canada. Well, we can't imagine it because it's happened. They go to Canada and try and bring their ways to Canada. And Canada's like, yeah, go fuck yourselves. We're taking all the socialism over here.
Right. I think it's great that, it's funny. I had an argument with somebody a few weeks ago who was saying, if America sucks so much, how come it's the country everyone's trying to get into? And I was like, read. If you read, you would find that Ottawa and Montreal right now have such an influx of immigrants coming from not just the United States, but all over the world. Nobody's trying to get into this country anymore.
No, fuck this country.
Nobody wants to go to America. They definitely want to come to Canada. And it is to the point where Canada, and you know how nice they are. They're like, well, maybe not everybody. So we'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, people want to go to Canada because Canada knows how to take care of people.
And that's the thing, honestly, I don't know if I said it on this podcast. I might have said it on Divided We Stand, which is on Monday nights at 8 p.m., an hour before I'll piss you off shortly. But I said it before, like, I think that, like, before you're 18 or between, like, 18 and 21, you should have, like, some time to just go and see who you really want to be associated with. Like, you know what? I want to go to Norway. I want to see what they're like in Norway. I want to go see what they're like in Ireland. Maybe I want to go to, I don't know, Zimbabwe. And like, I'm literally born here. So now I'm stuck here because I was born here. No, fuck that. Because I definitely would have probably chosen Canada, not Connecticut. Definitely I wouldn't have chosen Connecticut. But I would have, if I knew the shit that I knew back then, like growing up, and how much of a hassle it would have been, and then I could have probably lived a little bit easier life, a little bit more fun life. You know what I'm saying? In Canada, I may have chose Canada. People are stupid because you cannot live the life as you can in the United States. I call bullshit, Ovi, because my buddy lives in Canada and he says he lives pretty much the same fucking life.
Yeah.
He pays a little bit more in taxes, but he has a lot
I
less
think
stress free.
the only thing you can get in the United States that you can't get in Canada is not arrested for a hate crime. I think that's the only difference. The only thing you cannot do.
I know I can't say
that you can do
nigga
here.
and hard ERs, especially like on radio. So I can't say that in Canada. But oh well.
Yeah, I mean, but why would you say it in Canada?
I don't know.
I'm just
Exactly.
kidding.
I don't know.
No idea.
Oh man, it's Canada. Blame Canada. Wasn't that a song? Blame Canada. Blame Canada. That's what the Trump. It's funny they were blaming Canada and now they want to go to Canada. I hope Canada like shuts their borders, build a big old wall.
Well, the border is shut. The border is shut.
I saw a video of our border walls, the one that they were building, and like you can literally walk through it.
Yeah, you can't cross the Canadian border right now if you're an American because of COVID.
Oh,
they shut the border on us.
I'm gonna have to sneak in
because we're the clowns.
Can I be a refugee? Can I be a refugee into Canada from the United States?
No, right now you can't. They will turn you. They're like, go back to Minnesota or Maine or New Hampshire, you hippie loser. We're all booked up at the inn.
That's funny. I'm gonna have to find a way to sneak in, to tiptoe around that way. Fucking A. I wonder how they're doing with unemployment. I wonder if they're treating their citizens better than America's treating their citizens on unemployment. Because I tell you right now, my unemployment is completed, depleted, and never to be seen again. And guess what? The state of Connecticut, nobody's still fucking hiring. Guess what? I had 2 interviews today. One interview said, "Hey, due to your qualifications, we cannot hire you for a certain position." And I said, "Great, that feels good." They have to hire somebody a lot less qualified. I'm over. That's the thing. Like, it's either, hey, you're overqualified, or hey, we're hiring, just not until February 2021. So, excuse me, federal government. Excuse me, state of Connecticut. Matter of fact, hey, dumbass conservatives that are like, go find a job. When McDonald's says, hey, we can't hire you because you're overqualified, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Honestly, what am I supposed to fucking do? And I said it earlier, like, this is where a lot of my fucking mental health stress and shit, anxiety has come into play, because it's just like, you sit here, you play by their fucking rules. You do all, first and foremost, they make unemployment so fucking difficult to even try and withdraw from. And it's just like, there was a situation where they stopped it out of nowhere for like 2 weeks, right? Trying to call them, you can't do that. You can't email anybody. You can't go to a building. You only have one place that you can go to, which, by the way, nobody's ever working there. So you're just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So literally, I didn't draw for 2 months, like 2 weeks, and I finally got a hold of somebody, jumping through a hoop to get through a hoop to backdoor email somebody, which it shouldn't be like that. And then, they turn it back on just to get messed up a whole nother week later. So you're just like, yo, this is fucking bullshit. Even then, like, I said I went job hunting today, and I really realized that, like, job hunting is even worse now than it was when I was doing the shit, 4 years ago. Like, everybody's like, oh no, you gotta go online. You gotta go online. You gotta go on Indeed. Oh, you gotta go. Like, are you fucking serious? How is anybody supposed to get a fucking job? Like, this shit is fucking trash. You know how many times I've had to revise my resume just to fit a new fucking position, or just to fit new keywords at fucking somebody. These hiring sites are like, this is bullshit. You're not hiring me because of my skills. You're hiring me because of the fucking words that I can just fucking put on a piece of resume just for me to get a fucking callback. Like, this shit's bullshit, and it's getting fucking tiring. So, and this is the type of shit that makes somebody be like, I can go to my boy. I can get an ounce. I can get a QP. I can go do certain things and actually make a living. Now, am I wrong if I go make a living for myself when the world and everybody else won't fucking help me make a living? You know what I'm saying? You look at it that way. So then that shit's really been fucking with me mentally, because I'm like, yeah, what if I did that? Then they'd be like, oh, look at him being a threat to his society. Look at him being a threat. And I look at it and I sit there and say, look at all these guys that have done that. And the guys, and then you get into the prison reform. You start getting into the guys that, try to do a couple little things just to make ends meet. Got caught with a half an ounce and doing fucking 5 years for no fucking reason. Got caught with an ounce or two. And you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it really fucks you up fucking mentally, right? Like Ovi just said, I never understood fucking qualifications. Like, what the fuck? Like, this shit's aggravating. How many when do we not put so much faith into technology and actually do some real work? You know what I mean? And have humans do some real work for us. It was aggravating being able to like literally walk through the mall and literally see we're hiring signs up, and you'd be like, oh, you guys are hiring, can I fill out an application? No, you got to do it online. No, you got to go to, like, it's fucking bullshit, Joe. Fucking bullshit. Like, why is the hiring process so fucking long? Just not even that. Like, I'm still waiting. Talking about hiring process long, I'm 2.5 months into the hiring process from one corporation. I won't say their name, just in case by some fucking odd chance I get a fucking email. Those loops have been fucking horrible going through. Like, you're a fucking corporation now. Why does it take you 2.5 months to fucking hire somebody going on 3 months?
I've had that happen before.
5 rounds of interviews.
Yeah. I had a job where I had applied for it, and without them even telling me, they decided that I was the guy they were going to hire. And then some things happened, and they had to put off the hiring.
Yeah.
And like 5 months went by. And I had sent out a whole new round of applications, and I get a phone call at the most awkward of times, and I was on the phone, and it was a woman. Her name was Randy, and I didn't realize there was any women that I was applying to, and so this woman's like, I got your stuff, and I'm thinking, who is this person? And I started rummaging through the stuff I just sent out.
Yeah.
I don't know who Randy is. I went over it and I grabbed the stuff that I had sent out before, and I'm like, that's when I was like, oh, Randy's a woman. I wrote Mr. Randy. Thought it was a dude. Yeah. But yeah, and so she was like, oh, look, I meant to call you like 3 months ago. Like, we totally want to hire you. And there was something about the people that were leaving, or just it's some, and she's like, we just forgot to call you. And I was like, well, thank God I didn't take any other jobs.
Yeah, thank God.
Time. But they literally just forgot to reach out to book me.
Like, how do you do that? Like, hey, we need somebody to hire, and they're like, hey, weren't we supposed to hire that person? Whatever happened to him? The fuck?
Well, right, but see, look, when you have an immediate opening, I gotta get Rob in here tomorrow, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, the guy's like, actually, I'll be here for another 6 weeks, and it's like, well, all right. Just slow the brakes on Rob. We'll just make this a 6-week onboarding process then.
Jesus. It's just like, oh my God. I don't know. I don't know what to do at this point. Like, I'm about to just go get me a fucking QP and call it a fucking day. That's sad. You know what's sad? When the hustle man will the plug will help you get work and promote your creative ideas and invest in you before family members or loved ones will. That's the crazy part, right?
Oh yeah,
crazy part. So I say that because I was talking to my buddy and I was like, hey man, I'm let me hold some. He said, I would, but I know you really don't mean it. He said, but I will. He goes, a couple of your ideas, I'll give you some money for that. And I said, oh, so that's interesting. That's interesting that they'll do that before, some other banks and other shit will, right? So I was talking to my buddy, well, not a buddy, but a friend of a friend who works at a bank, and I was like, man, I got like 2 business ideas, and he was like, yeah, unless you got a job, definitely not. I said, that's the whole point. I'm supposed to be an entrepreneur. He goes, yeah, we're not giving out loans like that now. I'm like, oh, so great. I'm stuck in COVID and can't even, get my fucking creativity going on. How is somebody ever supposed to fucking come up in this fucking world? That's all right. I got a couple ideas. That's the thing about being a fucking creative, of being a broke creative. Like to have all these fucking ideas and like, oh
right?
my God,
If
there's
you had
like
an endless amount of dough to make it all happen, right? Yeah,
not endless, but just some kind of
not endless, just not zero.
Yeah,
Fair.
exactly.
Fair enough.
Just
All
not
right.
zero. I don't need budgets out the world, but just not zero. So I'm like, she's even like Danielle's like, she's like, all right, how many more of these ideas do I have to listen to? I'm like, no, you got to keep listening because one of these are going to fucking pop. And then you're going to be trying to reap the benefits of it. And I'm going to tell you to go sit down somewhere. Make her listen to all my, look at all my business plans before she can get one dime. But, how's your relationship with, your in-laws?
Well, funny story. The
It always starts good that way.
current ones, fantastic.
Awesome.
We have all the same favorite hobbies and pastimes.
Nice.
Yeah. My first set of in-laws hated my guts. And God, I should tell you this story sometime. It's too long to tell on the show tonight, but I'll just put it this. Thank God my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law, kept an online journal, because I wouldn't have known half of the things that were happening in my life if not for my ex-mother-in-law's online journal.
Online.
Online journal. Dude, I will tell you the story. We could do a whole show about it because it's insane. It's one of the most insane stories. But yeah, my current father-in-law, he golfs. We've gone fishing. He's a cool dude. We get along well. He's very mild-mannered. He's always there to help me on the grill, or he'll come over and help me fix stuff. He does a lot of my electrical work because he's a smart dude. You know. Peace out to your boy there. That was cool.
All right, I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
But yeah, no, I got a good thing with Phil right now, which is super important. That's what you need.
I will say my ex-in-laws, everything was good until things went sour. So like, I'll put it this way, at the wedding, he was like, yeah, I got a son-in-law. If you guys need anything, let me know. When shit was going south, guess where he was? Nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Like, none of that, hey, let me bring you in kind of as a son thing and let's try and work this shit out, or let me give you some advice. It was just like, see ya, bucko. So I asked the father-in-law thing because me and one of my buddies, we were talking and he was explaining to me that his father-in-law pretty much is not around, not in the picture or whatever, and has his own like kind of like family issues going on or whatever. But the father-in-law feels that it's still necessary for the boyfriend, for my friend, to contact him and ask him for like his hand in marriage and like build a relationship with him. And actually recently he was in the same area as his presumed father-in-law. By the way, the father-in-law and mother-in-law aren't together. So they've been like divorced for like years. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, but anyway, so like I guess he was in like the same area as a father-in-law at one point recently, and like the father-in-law took it kind of like the wrong way because he didn't like come say hi to him or like introduce himself to him because they were like in the same city for a certain extended amount of time. And I was just like, you know what? In my eyes, my response to him was, fuck him. Honestly, like if the father-in-law one hasn't made an effort to even get to know you, and y'all have been together for 4 years, 4+ years, and he doesn't even have the best relationship with his daughter or his daughters, and two, he hasn't really made an effort to even get to know you, speak to you at least once on the phone. Fuck him. He's obviously not relevant enough in the relationship, or will be relevant enough in your marriage if you were to propose or get married to him. And it really had me thinking. And then like even like my relationship with any of my in-laws. Well, luckily I'm not married yet again, but I call him my in-law because she's like my mother-in-law. And we live, you know what I mean? But like, and we have a good relationship, I would think. But yeah, when I look at the father-in-law aspect, I'm like, I don't know him. Don't know him, don't care to know him. So, you know what I mean? I kind of like related with my boy on that because it's just like, fuck it. I'm not gonna like, you think of, the old, old traditional ways of asking the father. Like, there's so many other people in my mind that I would go to talk to about proposing to my girlfriend before I even thought about asking him. Like, I like her uncles, her brother, some of her cousins come to mind way before
but
him.
Rob, again, isn't this where like tradition is a thing when it doesn't? I mean, right? We don't live like that anymore.
No, yeah, like fuck that.
Right, we don't live that. We don't live like that anymore. Where I'm going to your dad's house and I gotta like
I can't say that because
ask
I
for his
did.
blessing.
My first one I did.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's fine.
I tried doing that shit too, and the first one's granted me permission because I paid their mortgage, and flew them up here from Atlanta for the wedding, and put them up in a hotel, and rented them a car. So
I see why they would say
ass. Oh, of course they did. Now, and they hated me anyway, despite all of those things that I did for them. But that's what ungrateful people do. So fuck them. But look, we still, I think, people really depend on the traditional, like that's just the way it's always been. That's the way it's got to go. I don't, I've had some issues with my own family and with my I haven't really spoken much to my older brother over the last few years, and I get a lot of shit from my parents about it. It's your only brother, and I'm like, it's not my only brother. I got a lot of brothers.
Facts.
That's who my family is. Those are my brothers. They know who they are.
Yep.
Not all of them are white. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
My brothers are the people who I love and who I can count on. Who I would call in a pinch.
Yep.
It wouldn't be my real brother. It wouldn't be him.
Mm-hmm. Which is like that.
Right. That's what family is. I think we got to start, this always kills me too. Like at the holidays, where do you spend the holidays?
It used to always be with immediate family.
Right. Right. So here's what I don't get. Do you love spending time with your family? Because I don't. I don't.
I used to not. I used to be, but then again, I was in a very, very dark place at that point.
And by the way, shout out to the brothers, Ov and Frank and my man Hector. All hanging out, the whole HHW crew. But yeah, listen, I think people get really stuck on, what family is. And it's like, well, I gotta call my sister. Get the fuck out of here. Do you?
No,
do you?
It all depends on your relationship.
Your family is the people who got your back, whether they're blood related or whether they're not. And just because we're blood related, I don't know you shit.
Very true. I'm a firm believer in it. I'll tell you this right now. I don't speak to the woman that raised me. My aunt raised me, and me and her are on non-speaking terms. I don't speak to my grandfather because I don't have a relationship with you. And I'm not of the belief. I hated that as a kid. Oh, you got to call this person just because. No, those fuckers don't call me. Like, they don't want to talk to me in the same way. Like, and I saw that shit. Like, I used to hate seeing my aunt and my mom always kiss my grandfather's ass just because. And he'd be like, oh, no, that's your grandfather. No, fuck that shit. If he's a fucking dickhead, fuck him. If they're a family member and they're a fucking piece of shit, or they expect you if they treat you like shit, fuck them. I'm not down for just because somebody is an elder or whatever that case. You know how many family members I don't talk to because I just don't give a fuck. Like, you don't add any value to my life, and it's nothing bad against my family members. Matter of fact, I'll use my grandfather for a prime example. Love him because he's my grandfather. Ask me the last time I spoke to him. I lied. Outside of him coming to take a visit to Connecticut, which I can't remember why he did. Outside of that, 15 years. Literally 15 years. And literally the same way he came and left. Cool. Hey, granddad, nice seeing you. Going about your business. Because I don't care to build a relationship with you. I don't care to have to deal with the bullshit that all my family members deal with just to have a relationship with you. And not to say that they deal with bullshit, but I saw the bullshit. So I'm good with that. Even with my aunt now, the person that raised me as a mother, and like I was a son to her, I'm good. Because of whatever the things happened in our past, like I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with you. Just because we're blood doesn't mean that that blood does hold no weight around here.
You know, there's going to be a day where I'll get to tell this actual story, but I had some shit go down a couple years ago. And at the time, I hadn't spoken to my brother in about 2 years. And my dad came over to see me to lend his support. And I appreciated it until he got ready to leave about an hour after he got there. I thought he was there to comfort me. And what he actually was angling on, and he waited till he was getting ready to walk out the door, was he said, I'm not you, I'm going through the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. And my dad goes, why don't you give your brother a call and let him know everything's cool between you guys? I was like, motherfucker, what? Like my whole world just got turned upside down. This motherfucker hasn't texted me.
Yeah,
he hasn't called me. I'm going through some shit, and and I gotta call him and patch that up.
Yeah, no.
What?
No. No.
I tell you something, Rob. There's about 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
I just was doing the math in my head because I know exactly who there are 8 people who I guarantee if I took my phone right now and I texted them, I need you here in an hour, no questions asked, they would be here.
Mm-hmm.
And wherever we went, it would be fucking amazing, and we'd have a great time doing it, whether we're burying a body or moving some whatever.
Yep.
I know that I those are the people that are family to me. Those same 8 people could call me up, and all you'd see is an empty chair right here.
Exactly.
That's what family is, you know. And I think that in a big way in this country, I think we need to start looking at that as the way. So like we have a bunch of families in this neighborhood, Rob, like 5 or 6 families that we spend a lot of time with. Frank, I appreciate that, brother. First playing up though. We spent some time with about like I said, there's 5 families in the neighborhood and one that's slightly out, but we let them hang with us anyway. And we get together maybe once a month. Obviously with COVID, it's been much longer at this point, but it generally about every 6 weeks or so, there was some gathering at someone's house in the neighborhood. Then the holidays come. Right? We have our last like friend hangout before the holidays, and it's like, oh, what do you guys got going on? Well, we're going to New Hampshire to see her mom and dad. It's going to be a great time. And it's like, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
And I think to myself, we're all like, we have a great time when we're together. Like, genuinely, we choose to spend time together because we all like each other.
Exactly.
But then, like, the most special day of the year comes, and you're like, hey, people I love and spend quality time with out of choice, I'm gonna fucking throw you over to go hang out with these motherfuckers who I've been hating for 45 years of my life. Yes. The people who ensure every year that my Christmas is kind of shitty. The same people who ruin my New Year's and my Thanksgiving every year. Those are the people I'm going to choose to hang out with again this year. And do you know why? Because that's just the fucking way we do it.
Because we're stupid Americans. Stupid Americans celebrate and party with the people that don't celebrate and enjoy ourselves.
Quality boy, welcome to the club, brother. You're in.
Hey, there we go.
Quality boy, he's a good dude.
That's the best thing,
man.
You gotta have those people. Like I tell you, like I there's probably a handful of people that I literally know that I can call, like you said, and they'll be on the first thing smoking or just picking up. You know what I mean? They're like just to pick up. I know I can call them at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. They'll wake up and it's okay. So having those people, having that true family is worthwhile. And I hope you guys build your family, and like we have this nice big old family at CMG, which I'm starting to love. I'm really getting that full sense of family, and I think it maybe have been through Among Us, because throughout all this bullshit that I've kind of been going through the past month and a half, that's actually been like I found joy in that. Like, I was just like, sweet, we're playing Among Us. Like, I'm just enjoying being around, and just so
You got your peeps, man. You got your place. You got your place where you belong. You got your place where, you're and it's funny because for you, when you're in the CMG thing, and for people who don't know, look, Rob's a big personality. Everybody thinks Rob's cool. This is what kills me. Like Frank and OV, they're always like, Rob. And I'm like, what about me?
You're the cool. You're Joe.
It's like, but they're way over me. You know what I mean? Like they've been over me for a while, and now it's like, Rob, how's Rob? Hey man, can't wait to catch Rob's show tonight. Are you going to be on it again? And I'm like, I'm on all of them.
You're on all of them. All 19 of these.
Am I going to be on it? I'm on all of them. But yeah, they love Rob, and so it's a good place for you to be. It's a good place for you to be because it's your peeps. The peeps. It's the peeps that, and I'll tell you what about this group. This group does nothing but support you.
Exactly.
And you them. It's literally a support group, not the weird kind where you have to like say prayers and do shit, but the kind where like when you're down and you got a few minutes, right? You jump on, we're in there shit talking in the chat. That's what family is.
Exactly. That's what family is, and that's what it's about. Like, that's the shit that has me. That's the shit that had me all pissed off. Joe, that's why we see you all the time. Rob just once. That's if you can see me once or twice a week. If I'm not falling asleep or missing the episode.
That was just me fishing for compliments, boys. That's all that was.
Well, to show everybody how much I love them, make sure you guys don't forget to watch the Hard Hitting wrestling show. I believe that's every
Tuesday, 8:00.
Every Tuesday.
Literally, yeah. Look, they literally wrapped up their show and they all hustled over to their computers and phones just to see this show.
My guys. And then also don't forget to catch, oh, Jesus. I was about to say Tyler. I always mess up. Baseball with the Bard with Tyler, another CMG podcast. And then also Tyler's wrestling show. What's Tyler's? Is it hard? It's not Hard Hitting.
No. So yeah,
there's so many different ones.
There's a whole lot of them. You know what? Here, let's run one.
Let's run it.
This is Baseball with the Bard.
Looking for a casual baseball podcast to listen to? Well, Baseball with the Bard, presented by Clovercrest Media, has just what you're looking for. Tyler Bard and Noah Cross cover a wide range of happenings in the MLB, and then dive into a deep focus on the Red Sox and Yankees. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your weekly dose of Baseball with the Bard.
I would just like to point out that a few weeks ago, Jace said that Mac Jones was garbage.
Hurry up here for Alabama. Play action. Mac Jones wants it all. Long ball, man there. Got him. Mechie, touchdown.
I'm not sold on Mac Jones.
In the red zone, Alabama with 3 minutes and change remaining in the half. Jones fires to the corner. Devontae Smith. Touchdown, Alabama.
I didn't mean to brag, but I make that whole show.
I'm just gonna say I don't want.
You've been on that.
We've had you on there a few times now. The 2 weeks that I've been on all 4 downs, I've been at the top spot, tied. Hey, in picks. So I just want to say, make sure you guys go check those fellas out on all 4 downs. I've had a fun blast tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. I had a blast being on there. I was there for the Gators highlight. And by the way, Joe, come on, man. Give it up. Give it up to my man. Our Gators are looking nice. You can't
They're looking solid.
This past week, I mean, granted, it was against who it was, but I mean, Trask looks solid. He looked like a reincarnation of Tebow.
You know what he looks like to me, honestly? He looks like the second best quarterback in the SEC.
Here we go.
Mac Jones!
Oh, he's still on the Mac Jones train.
I'm riding the Mac Jones Express all the way to the national championship. That's my plan.
All right. Well, we'll see. I think the Gators might win it out for the rest of the season. And then either I need a championship from the Gators or the Steelers. One of the two.
Your Steelers might be that might be the pick, baby. 9-0, looking really good right now.
I don't want to put the pressure on them too much, but the Steelers are looking real good. We have a good chance. I would be happy with 14-2, honestly. I'd be happy with 14-2 in the Super Bowl. Give me 14-2 in the Super Bowl. I'm good. Florida's going to play Bama, and I'm telling you, Florida has a good chance. That defense. If the defense can hold up, we're gonna be something nice.
Steve show tomorrow, by the way, 1:00. Sports Talk with R&J. They'll be going through not only all the football games, some of the big college games. They'll also be previewing the NBA draft. Nice. And NBA free agency. So make sure you tune in that tomorrow at 1. But yes, Florida is going to play Bama in the SEC title game because, well, Alabama has to beat somebody.
I can't wait till that game comes on because we're gonna put our true predictions in, and I think my Gators gonna have to prove you wrong. Steelers almost out.
Boy, solid. The Steelers have 9 wins, and the NFC East has combined.
That's
10.
crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
That is insane. Oh, but by the way, I made it. I said it earlier today, and I stand by it. Watch out for the New York Giants.
Really? I will say Daniel Jones is balling.
If the New York Giants, this is going to be the problem here. If the Giants make the playoffs, watch out. Jesus. If the Giants don't make the playoffs, that means that over the last 6 weeks, things have gone terribly astray, and they're going to clean house. This defense is for real, and the offense is clicking at the right time. And I did something, Rob, this weekend that I haven't done in a long time, I should say. I watched every single football game.
Get out.
I watched all of them.
Just had a good old football Sunday.
Live game Sunday. Yeah, my wife just was like not around, I just kept putting games on, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch all the games because I've had this whole thing going on with some of the different shows that we have. Everybody's in love with Justin Herbert from the Chargers, which is so lame. I wanted to see all these guys for myself, and you know what I noticed? Everybody in the NFL right now plays really bad special teams. Block punts, missed field goals, long returns. That's where teams are getting killed. And that's actually one of the only thing that Giants have been good at all year. So just one more good thing going on for the Giants. But this reminds me of 2007. I think if the Giants make the postseason, they could do some damage. So we'll see.
That's a nice hot take. I agree. I can follow that. I even told my mother-in-law because she's a Giants fan. I looked at the record and I said, y'all actually might be able to make the playoffs. You might. If things fall in line, we'll see. As long as the Steelers lose one game, I'm happy, so that will keep my Dolphins.
Frank, please don't take this the wrong way because you know you're my boy. But I don't think there's any. I'm a Yankees fan, and people are like 27 world titles. How many did they win in your lifetime? One of my really good friends is a Miami Dolphins fan, so I don't say this in an insulting way, but you guys got to get over 1972. That's like worse than the Cowboys.
Eventually, in 2072,
that's like 2 decades worse than all my Cowboys fans. Like 92, 93, baby. Yeah, we remember. It's been a long time. I don't think anyone's ever going to go undefeated. I think there's too many games now.
You think so?
Yeah. I think when it was 14-0, I think that was realistic. I think winning 16 and then tack
winning
on 3 more. Oof.
That's tough.
I mean, you got to be a juggernaut, and I just right now there's not. That's why I say all the credit in the world to the Steelers, because boy, to be 9-0 in an NFL right now, that is just absolutely nobody standing out. I'm not even. I'll tell you the truth. Even the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I feel like this isn't last year or the year before. I feel like they're a little on the vulnerable side as well.
They've already have one loss, and that was to the Raiders. So, I mean, not to say that the Raiders are stinking, but I mean, it's if it. I put it this way: if it was to be a year for undefeated team to, a team to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl, it would probably be 2020 out of all years, just to be some weird shit. And I would love for it to be 10 years after our last Super Bowl. So, hey, I'm not mad at it. Definitely not mad at it. Definitely not mad at it. Yeah, appearance, I should say, not Super Bowl win, but our last Super Bowl appearance. You know, when we lost to the Green Bay Packers, when I was supposed to be at the Super Bowl, but we got pushed. Our deployment got pushed to the right like 6 weeks. So I had to stay. Did I ever tell that story?
I don't believe you have. No.
So
that sounds terrible.
So here I am. Matter of fact, November 2010, and I'm coming home from my mid-tour leave, which is almost end of tour leave because I took it late. I got tickets to I had put money to the side to get tickets just in case the Steelers made the Super Bowl or made the playoffs. So I get back. It had to have been like we got the wild card. I told my buddy, I said, we won that game. I was just getting Super Bowl tickets off the whim. And he was a Green Bay Packers fan, so he followed suit. So we got our little package tickets. Steelers won the wild card. We got our package tickets. Guess what? Steelers make it to the Super Bowl. 2 weeks before Super Bowl, we were supposed to leave. We had got told that we had to stay like another 5 days or whatever before we were supposed to leave. That we would still make it in time, like 5 days or so, like 3 to 5 days before actual Super Bowl, right? So we'll be able to get back to the States and then just go. My first sergeant commander know that we have these tickets, literally Pro Bowl day. They come in and they're like, yo, so I know we packed up everything, but we're going to have to unpack. And we're like, why are we unpacking? So, yeah, I know you guys had tickets to go to the Super Bowl, but you guys are missing that. So literally we had to off our tickets again. We had to try and sell our packages, which we were able to do, thank God. But higher mid-level seats, 50-yard, about 35, 40-yard line ticket, Super Bowl package, $7,500, pretty much almost gone down the drain, which we actually made $500 off of. I ended up able to sell the package for about $8,000, my whole package. But I still, so I was supposed to be at that Super Bowl. Didn't make it. I ended up watching the Super Bowl on the computer screen because we couldn't get the satellite TV to work again. Just as a little ball on the screen as the Steelers lost to the Green Bay Packers. So yeah, that was my Super Bowl hopes that got turned away due to extended deployment. Thank you, U.S. Army. Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, but the good news about that is that I do have that tucked away into a fund. So if by chance it looks like we do make the Super Bowl, I doubt due to COVID I'll be able to afford it this year. But my Super Bowl rainy day fund, Steelers Super Bowl rainy day fund is still available. Tucked away in savings.
Nice.
My dumb ass didn't put it into anything like growing interest though, which I should have. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just one of those things, boy. Yeah. You could just, but yeah.
Oh man. Well, let's see here. Other than that, do you have any questions? Do you have your questions ready?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do.
You want to go first or you want me to go first?
I do. Question number 1.
Sweet.
What is Danielle's favorite place to visit?
As far as
just a place to go hang, just somewhere to go hang and chill. Just she's like, okay, which one? And any specific one or just
A winery, no specific one.
All right, any winery. Good,
I
good.
go with winery. All right. Who was Jessica's right hand in high school or college?
Her friend Katie Wang, who is super dope and it is always a good time.
There you go.
Katie Wang, the great Katie Wang.
The
All
great
right.
Katie Wang.
Who did Danielle take to her senior prom?
Her cousin Tyrell.
Come on, really? Her
Yes,
cousin?
her cousin Tyrell.
Wow.
Who is he is the complete like conservative black dude too. Like complete conservative. I'll say that.
Dude,
Like
that's
it's so
hilarious.
funny. So funny. So he was actually so like when me and like before I met him, when me and her first started dating, he did like a full background check on me and like sent her like all my information. Oh my god, so funny.
That's awesome.
Fucking
Yeah.
weird. So yeah, but yeah, she went to her senior prom with her cousin Tyrell. All right. If Jessica could have any career outside of working as a lawyer, what would it be?
A podcaster.
Well, she does that.
Yes.
But she would
And
do that like
that's what she wants to do. She literally, I mean, 4 years at an Ivy League school to become a lawyer so that she could be a podcaster. That's her new dream. Before that,
awesome.
And what the project that her podcast actually is originally started as was a book.
Oh shit. Okay.
So she really wanted to be a writer.
Okay.
And then started podcasting and still sort of was thinking that she wanted to write. And then she was like, well, actually, I guess I already am writing, aren't I?
Yeah. So and then just
yeah. Now
Oh.
she wants to be a famous podcaster.
There you go.
All right, let's see. Where is the coolest place Danielle has ever traveled to?
Israel.
Ooh.
Israel, hands down.
Is there anything to any more to the story? Anything we should know about this? What brought her to Israel? Because
so her best friend,
absolutely fascinating.
like one of her best friends, and I love her best friend. Super dope. Her Jesus, and I'm remembering her best friend's husband's name because they literally just got married this past weekend. Shlomi, and she's gonna kill me. Oh my god, Noi. Shlomi and Noi. Noi is awesome. Shlomi's awesome. They just got married this weekend, but yeah, so she went down there to go visit Noi for the first time. She would probably say that her best experience was seeing, I guess, the whole like Jesus wall and shit like that, the prayer wall or whatever that shit is. But yeah, she's gonna say that over the Black Sea, which I'm always finding this damn bottle of fucking water from the Black Sea that she brought back. And like one day I just want to dump that shit. I'm like, if you don't go move this bottle away, like every time I clean, I see this bottle and I'm gonna dump it one day.
That's great.
But yeah, so yeah, she'll say Israel. Let's see here.
Pretty impressive. I like it.
Her most embarrassing time in public.
Ah, jeez. Well, okay, I got a good one. A couple years ago at my softball game, I think she'd had a couple beers, but the sun was blinding. She went to the bathroom, and when she walked out, she kicked a when they put like stop signs in parking lots and it's in a big cement bottom and she basically kicked one of those and broke her foot in front of everybody.
Jeez.
Yeah, literally broke her foot right there and was like, you got to take me to the hospital. I just broke my foot.
That's hilarious. Oh, yeah, that's definitely like super fail.
Yeah, that sucks. That was not a fun day for anybody. Yeah.
See, I did that with an oyster bed though. I was in Georgia and I was helping my buddy Jaeger with his boat. And for some dumbass reason, like I took my shoes off and stepped in like a bunch of fucking oyster and a whole oyster bed at the boat launch. And his wife had to take me back, had to drive me back to the hospital. And my 2013 Camaro, brand new, that I had for like 2 weeks, with blood just leaking into it. And she was the only one that can drive because it was a stick, by the way. So like here I am with a bunch of soldiers and like bleeding out. And Minnie's like, I gotta drive you because I'm the only one that knows how to drive stick. Thank you, Mindy. Thank you for not letting me bleed out and die. But, oh man. Let's see here. Speaking of things like that, are there any childhood friends that you've lost contact with that you wonder how they're doing now?
You know, it's funny because I saw you had that on there, and there actually was this girl that I was friends with, basically in like first and second, and even maybe into like third grade, and then she left. And she was cute, but that wasn't even it. She was like the nicest kid in the class.
There you go.
And I don't even remember. I tell you why, because Jessica and I went to the same grammar school together.
Okay.
And hadn't seen each other in a long time. And we were just sort of like reminiscing. Hey, you remember this person, that person? Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, you know who was in your class was that girl, Erica? Because that was a neighbor of hers. And I was like, yeah, I have no idea what happened to that girl. I looked her up on Facebook and I sent her a message, and she seemed like lukewarm to hearing from me.
Like, hey, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't quite have the same memory about it. Wasn't like, oh my God. It was like, oh yeah, that is me.
Yeah, that's a hi.
You found me. It almost felt like she was fleeing from me.
When I found her. No parts with you.
Yeah. It was like, how did you find me? I mean, yeah, hey. Good to hear from you. Hope all's well.
That's funny. That was funny. I think when I think about that, well, the reason what made me think about that, two people. Two people in particular. This one kid, Jeremy Johnson. Me and him, I remember through elementary school, like we were two peas in a pod. You couldn't like find me without him or him without me. I found his sister on Facebook. But I haven't been able to find him. So I'm like, damn, I wonder what the hell happened. And I didn't have the balls to like message his sister and be like, hey, what's up with your brother? Because it's definitely been like 20 plus years since we've all like said hi or anything to each other. That's super weird. And she has like a whole family. So yeah, I'm not really that interested in saying hi, you know, but we're going on the hunt. But it would be nice to, you know, hear from him. And then another person, Kendall Streeter. So like Kendall Streeter, he was adopted, Asian kid, but he was adopted. Both his parents were like adopted parents were white, but we went to his parents taught at Connecticut College, same as my aunt. So like me and him rode the bus together, from school and back to school, and like he was super super cool kid. But I remember like one of my last things with him, I said some really dirty, nasty things to him. Like, I can't remember why, but like we were on the bus and like I was ragging on him pretty hard. And like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I do remember it was like some really not nice shit. And then like, yeah. And then like I got kicked out of school, like not too long out of that, like after that for some shit that I didn't do, and never heard from this kid ever again. So then like probably once every few years, like, I wonder how Kendall's doing. Like I can't find him on Facebook. I can't find him on any kind of social media or anything like that. So I'm like, I hope like he's doing all right. Kendall Streeter, if you're ever out there, I'm sorry.
You know, actually, you reminded me of a story, and this only ever pops into my head every now and a blue moon. When I was in kindergarten, again at the school where my wife ended up going to the same school, and that's how we know each other. But it was nap time. And I think I got out of school at like, I think at 1 o'clock or 1:30, we got released. But so it must have been around 11:30. We were napping, and there was only one black kid in the school. His name was Tyshawn. And I'm not even going to pretend like we were best friends because we weren't. Mm-hmm. I just remember one day his dad showed up. He was yelling. He picked Tyshawn up. I pretended I was still napping, but I was like, what is going on here? Dude, the father took Tyshawn out of the room, and I did not see a black person again for 8 years.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's parochial Catholic schools for you. That's how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only and literally, like, for years, I like every now and again, whenever I think of it, I'm always like, I wonder what happened to that kid.
Whatever.
Just because the way his dad was pissed about something, boy. I don't know what it was. I never asked. Nobody even knows what I'm talking about when I bring it up.
And they're like, who? What?
Like, I don't remember that. Are you sure you didn't dream that? And I'm like, how would I have dreamt about a black family in this school? Like, that would have been impossible. It had to be real. But yeah, I've always, my whole life, I don't even know his last name, so I can't even look him up.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But I just remember his name was Tyshawn. His dad grabbed him one day, and we never saw him again.
Jeez, Tyshawn, if you're still out there,
St. Mary's. It would have been 1980. Would have been the year. St. Mary's in Meriden. And Tyshawn, honest to God, dude, and I've wondered about this dude every now and again.
Yep.
Over the years, but because I don't know anything about him or name, there's nothing I could really do other than hoping.
He's all right.
Yeah.
Everything ended up well for him.
I hope so. I hope he's doing well wherever he might be.
Well, hey, Connecticut's such a small state. So Tyshawn, St. Mary's, 1980s. Holla at us. We'd love to reunite. Put you right on, we can put you on the screen on the bottom.
How crazy would that be?
That would be awesome.
Guys, find Tyshawn for me, please.
Heck yeah. Find Tyshawn, find Kendall. Let's see if we can reunite some people around here.
Imagine if they're all hanging out together. They're like, they
that would be
a
hilarious.
4-man gang. They're like, wait, how do you guys don't know each other? That'd be crazy.
That would be hilarious. Hey, man, I know this guy. Oh, I've seen these two idiots on a podcast together. Oh, God.
Right?
That's the last thing I need. Some blast from the past telling stories. Oh, man. Well, as always, if you guys have had a good episode, if you guys enjoyed this episode, if you guys have enjoyed the banter, you guys were very active today in the comments. Super appreciate it. You guys are always A1. I always say the best fans in the land. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I'll piss you off shortly. Actually, I got somebody noticed me today at the mall. I felt pretty good. It wasn't like a big celebrity notice, but he was like, I'll piss you off shortly. That's a podcast. Because I had my hoodie on.
I was
like, yeah, that's me. He was like, yeah, that is you. And I was like, cool. And then I asked him, so a friend of my sister. So I said, hey, I'll take it. A friend of my sister works at Vans. So, hey, I'll take the discount. And he knows I'll piss you off shortly.
Hell yeah.
So, that works for me. So if you guys like, I'll piss you off shortly. If you guys want to generate to the calls, I'll piss you off, $, I'll piss you off shortly for Cash App. Or you can go to I'llPissYouOffShortly.com, get you some merch. Pissed off 15 at checkout. Damn, I'm still running that code. I'm about to end up stopping that because nobody really uses it. But I don't know. We'll keep it up there for right now. But yeah, pissed off 15 at checkout, 15% off any new order. I'll pitch you off shortly.com. Check us out. Clovercrest Media. Yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Oh, yeah. I'll pitch you off shortly. Hotline 860-342-8711. Give us a shout. Leave us a voicemail. Shoot me a text if you guys want to be on the show. If you guys want to talk about something, discuss something, definitely hit us up. I think the next couple episodes, I think we'll have some guests. Ep, I want to have my guy Ep on the show. He was commenting earlier, and I want to try and get one other guy. He's a super conservative out of Glastonbury. I remember him and I exchanged phone numbers from the rally or from the protest. So I'm going to see if I can actually get him up here, which would be nice. Because I still want to talk to conservatives to hear their thoughts after they've taken this big old L in the ass. Once you take this L in the ass, we'll see how that goes.
I look forward to that. It's going to
be super good.
Yeah.
Super good. But yeah, so appreciate everybody for listening. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. It's been a hell of a show. Once again, you guys can check me every Monday. Check me and Joe every Monday at 9 p.m. Yeah. Check us out Monday nights, 9 p.m. I'll pitch you off shortly. Everybody have a good night.
One day. I'm gonna get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly. Hey, mama, I got a podcast. Hey, I got a podcast.